I think anybody who has been labeled a weird girl but has not specifically chosen to be one probably has really mixed feelings about this whole I'm a unicorn weird girl epidemic going on currently on social media. And I have a lot of mixed opinions on it because, well, let me first just say I do like that it's pushing the agenda of women are not one simple thing. Women have very complex interests, opinions, looks, and desires in life. And that's something I'm always in support for because I never really had that much representation, and that's not just me being like, oh yeah, I like metal music and there's no representation. I mean, like, I'm talking about the bitches who are mentally ill, have social anxiety, and always look different, maybe weren't the most feminine looking, didn't like the most feminine thing. That's who I'm talking about. If any younger girl who does not feel like they are a girl or how a girl acts or how a girl should be, I think seeing weird girls 100% is what social media should be showing right now. But like a lot of things on social media, everything gets glamorized and romanticized. And so whenever I look on Pinterest and TikTok, I always see a bunch of I'm literally a unicorn. I'm literally a weird girl. I'm literally a thought daughter. And that's great. But can we talk about how lonely and depressing that is for a lot of us? We're expected to build our own world, our own social circle, and we're limited to not do things because we're not invited out to go to parties or hang out with other people. We have to make that ourselves. And I'm always for, pro authenticity and pro if I'm not welcome there, I don't want to be there. And that's all great. But growing up, especially if you were a middle schooler, being already excluded, you can't help but to almost feel left out and alienated all of the time. And I just want to offer sort of a little bit of a perspective on that because I did not wake up one day and just choose to be alternative. I did not go through a phase where I was basic and then one day I woke up like this. Unfortunately, I was just born brown, closeted, had a bunch of gender issues, social anxiety because of the bullying I went through. And now suddenly one day when I was walking to class, a lot of the younger girls started to compliment me and say that I was like cool for being different. And that also sort of scared me a little bit when I saw everything that I liked started to be trendy and started to be considered cool. Because before, like I said, that used to get me bullied. That shit used to get me shoved into lockers and I got my lunch money stolen. I think that it's good. I'm not saying I'm completely mad that people switched up one day, but I'm saying that when you spend years creating your own circle, your own safety of like, here's a group of people who are going to be nice to me, and here's who to avoid so I don't feel bad about myself for months on end, to suddenly go from this being on defense mode all the time when you step outside the house to suddenly being like, oh, where do you shop at? Oh, how do you do your hair? It's like, whoa, 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 slow down. And I don't know, I feel like such a fucking incel for even pointing that out, but I feel like it just has to be said. And I think it's good because it shows that younger girls, you don't have to be one specific idea of what a woman is. You don't have to like Love Island or The Summer I Turned Pretty, and you can in fact like things that are maybe, for example, mostly liked by men. You can dress like a boy. You don't have to be a girl. You can do whatever you want. And I think that's why the whole weird girl epidemic is actually good, but it's also really depressing to be a weird girl. I don't know if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense, but I was just thinking about it today because I am practicing icebreakers for when I go to my new school. It's hard for me to basically do anything that involves talking to new people. I remember this year it was really hard to talk to my teachers or blow my nose or throw away something in the classroom, ask to go to the bathroom. And it was simply because I didn't want to be perceived by anyone. And I know it's such a weird fear, but I personally don't like it. Um, Small talk is literally like getting my nutsack dragged on glass, and I would do anything to avoid it. And like I said, it goes back to when you're already forced into that label of being an outsider and you don't really get to choose whether you want to fit in. That's what makes it so depressing, because like what if I actually wanted to be popular, and what if I actually wanted a bunch of friends, and what if I wanted to be invited to stuff and I wasn't even given like a fair shot? And Sometimes I wish my parents stuck me in some sport like cheerleading or volleyball and they forced me to get good at it so I could have a bunch of friends. I don't know if that's relatable to anybody else, but I always think about that. Like, I wish my parents forced me to do fucking cheerleading. And then I would grow up and have friends, and I don't even care. Maybe I would have hated the sport and it would make me really depressed, but at least I would be somewhat accepted and I wouldn't have to create my own safe space for myself. And I love the whole message of be you. You don't have to be like everybody else. That's great. That's great. I love that because, yeah, I like being myself. I'm not ashamed of my interests, but I wasn't even given a fair shot. I don't even know what my full potential is because when you're forced into that label of being an outsider, you adapt to it. And what did that give me? Not being able to talk to a single person without it being over text. That's why I have so many online friends. That's why I post on social media. That's why I do all this stuff because I would rather be here talking to my MacBook than outside. And yeah, I guess it's going to be really depressing. And so now, I've been so slowly trying to, I guess, change myself into what's more accepted. I sound like a fucking incel. And to that means being more feminine. So I bought press-on nails, and I don't even like nails. I think they're way too girly for me. I like painting my nails black, but I always have had a problem with biting off my actual nails and eating them. And when I put the nails on today, I hated them, and I don't think it looked good on me at all. I've been doing full beat, full makeup. I bought lash clusters, even though I hate the way they sting my eyes. And it's all because when I go to this new school, I don't care what the hell it takes. I'm going to make friends. I'm going to get invited to functions, and I don't really give a fuck. And I'm sorry if that doesn't make me authentic, or people think that I hate myself for the way that I am, but I'm not spending the rest of my years in my room. Is that crazy to say? Is it crazy to change yourself even just a little bit because you want to be accepted? Is that so crazy? Or is it just teaching myself that, hey, Kayla, I don't really give a fuck that you have problems talking to other people. You're going to learn how to make new friends. That's not crazy to me. And I feel like whenever I brought this up to other people, they're always like, you don't have to change yourself. Nobody really cares about that stuff, but you don't know what it's like to be me. A lot of the people that have told me this, I'm so sorry to say it, you've always been naturally feminine. You've always had friends. You've always knew how to talk to people. You've always been considered like popular and you've always gotten invited to places and stuff, but like you understand what it's like when it's not. Like, please tell me someone neurodivergent can fucking relate to this. Like, preparing every social interaction you've had, planning every single thing you do like months before, and somehow nobody wants to give you that chance. It's like you don't know what it's like to be me. You don't know. We have different walks of life, whatever. You get to hide behind the fact that you can just wake up one day and act like a girl and be a girl and look like a girl, and I have to literally rehearse how to be one in my head. And I like being a girl. I just wish it wasn't so complicated to like be one, if that makes sense. God. Now I'm ashamed because I feel like someone in my house is hearing all this. But yeah, I just wish people would stop spreading this whole like, you don't have to change yourself because you're gonna be accepted. Baby, that's not how the world works. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I have to teach myself how to communicate to other people. The first day of middle school, I literally ranted about how much I wanted Kirk Hammett to a random group of people I did not know. I have to teach myself how to be like socially aware of my surroundings and of people and of what I say. For icebreakers, my plan is just to be like, I like writing, I like music, and I like to play guitar. That's probably what I'm gonna say. If I had to be boring and nonchalant and like fake as hell, whatever, I don't care. As long as I'm not depressed every single year and I'm not struggling to talk to people like a normal human being, I'm willing to change everything about myself. If you are a younger girl, do not listen to me. Listen to the weird girls who tell you to be yourself. 100% do that, because who knows? Maybe you'll be happier, but I know changing myself will make me a little bit happier. That's all I have to say. Peace out.